Hi, let's draw and paint an inspired pumpkin patch using Crayola markers. That's right, we're going to paint with markers. I've got several markers in the fall colors that I want to use, but you can use any color that you like. It's your artwork and it's your creativity. On my mixed media piece of paper, I'm going to first draw a horizon line. Now, the horizon line is a horizontal line across your paper or across a canvas where the land and sky meet. But I don't want that line to be straight because I want this to be a fall tree background. So I'm just going to make my line just kind of scribble it a little bit, and then it's not going to be straight. It's not going to be even, but it's going to go across my paper. See, that was easy. Now I have 3 different shades of orange to make my pumpkins because no 2 pumpkins are just alike or just the same color or same shape. And I want a variety of orange in my painting. Oh, I did mention that we are painting with markers, right? Okay, every pumpkin shape close to that horizon line is going to be smaller than the pumpkins that are closest to you or the edge of your paper. Just start drawing pumpkin shapes, but they don't need to be perfect circles or even round. Not all pumpkins are circles. And when they are on the ground, they have a little bit of a squish look, with the ground. The pumpkins closest to you will have more details than the ones in the distance. So I'm just going to add a few little pumpkin lines for the sections on the ones up close. Now, you don't need to color the pumpkins with a marker. We're just going to add a few swishes of color to each pumpkin. And then we're going to blend that with a wet paintbrush. Because Crayola markers are water-based, the water will move the marker ink around just like watercolors. I'm going to do one pumpkin at a time, one section at a time. But don't worry, this doesn't take all day. Now, while all my pumpkins are drying, I can work on the area above the horizon line. But I need to warn you, I I spilled my cup of water across my painting. So be ready for that uh-oh moment, okay? It's going to be okay. With my markers, I'm going to doodle swishes of color in uneven strokes because I'm creating a tree line behind my pumpkins in the distance. And it's not going to be a straight tree line, and I'm not doing individual trees. I just kind of want that blurred out tree, just a blurred out row of trees way in the distance with all the beautiful fall colors. So I'm going to scribble my colors, and then I'll blend with my wet paintbrush after I clean up my spilled water. If this happens to you, just grab a paper towel and start cleaning up the water. And then you can assess what the damage is to your artwork. For me, my paper was sopping wet. It was soggy, and it only affected the top part of my painting. It didn't really affect my pumpkins so much. For that, I was very thankful. So I'm going to keep that painting. I'm not going to start over, and I'm just going to go with what I've got. And if that happens to you, you have to assess and decide what can you work with. We're just going to work with the spilled water. It's going to be okay. Add your color swishes to your trees, and then you're going to dab with a wet paintbrush. Now, while this is drying, we can add to the ground around the pumpkins. Usually, the ground around the pumpkins is dirt, maybe leaves, and maybe even some of the green vines or green leaves, depending on your pumpkin patch. I'm going to use a couple of greens and a brown. Dab some marker, and then you're going to dab that marker with a wet paintbrush. And just do sections at a time. If you get too crazy across your paper, it might dry before you get a chance to hit it with the water. So go slow and easy. And don't forget to add some stems. I think I'm going to hit the top of my paper with a little bit of that teal blue just to create some sky. And that's it. We hope you enjoyed this pumpkin patch inspired art and you'll hit subscribe so you'll know when we add more to our fall playlist. But most importantly, that you forget not the Lord.